Recording. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am proud to be with the South Florida Writers of Color on the occasion of the Miami Book Fair. And we're here having a literary conversation that we've been doing all week with various different authors through the Miami Book Fair's medium. What we're going to do today is we're taking a little bit of a different spin. We're asking each member of our group to share information on their books with you. The group writes in different genres. We write from poetry, nonfiction, memoirs, and many different um, genres. So you're going to hear from each author and they're going to introduce themselves to you. And I will go ahead and just share with you. My background is I am basically a nonfiction writer. I research the topics of leadership and success. My name is Dr. Shelly Cameron. And I researched those topics because I was interested. I'm always interested in individuals' personal development. How can I help someone else improve themselves? So all of my books are basically on that. I will later on plans to jump into other areas, but for now, while I help others develop, because my background is in human resource management and organizational leadership, so I decided because I have this wealth of knowledge to help others develop. So my books are all on success and leadership. And these are some of my books. The first one I wrote that kicked off my desire was Success Strategies of Caribbean American Leaders. This one is immigrant leaders in the United States because of what we're having and some of the challenges that individuals had to go through. Then I was doing it and I decided that I'm gonna do something to keep people motivated because I started on Instagram and each time I'm sending out quotes on Instagram, other people were asking for it. So I decided, okay, why not do it for those who are not technologically inclined, and hence the development of this book, which is called 101 Plus Empowering Quotes for Entrepreneurs. And as authors, we are all entrepreneurs because we have to sell our books. So therefore, this is there to help others to also keep them motivated. Then as I went away to do my research, I was journaling a lot. A lot of us know about journaling and the importance of journaling. And that brought forward what I call now green light. Green light is filled with my inspirational quotes and exhortations. And when you read it, it's not a book to read all at once. It is a book that you read one page at a time because each page is like what you would call a devotional. But it's not necessarily only that. What it does is inspires you to go after whatever you want to do. And this is one of my, call it top sellers. So for now, I am really putting a thrust on Greenlight simply because I just published the audiobook of Greenlight. So the Greenlight has an audiobook now out, and that is what I'm looking at it because many people have said that, oh my goodness, I don't like to read, I prefer the audio form. So I responded to individuals and I created this book. And then guess what? Just a month ago, guess who? Matthew McConaughey, celebrity, actor, everybody knows him. He wrote a book and his book is called Green Light with an S, Green Lights. And that one was significant for me. When I saw it, I said, oh my goodness, he wrote that book. So I have been using it. And guess what the similarity is? It's the same thing. He went away to write this book from his journaling. So see how important it is to journal? And his journaling came way back in the day. So I took the book and I decided to buy it. And I'm reading it as well. He went away to write it. I went to Washington, D.C., and this is what came out of it. So there are lots of similarities. And I believe a lot of persons may say to me, don't share other people's things, but I don't believe in that. I believe in giving out, and when you give out, you get more in return. Now, here you go. This is my book that was just published last week. It's called Your Career, Ditch It or Switch It. And for this, during this era, when you have the pandemic, a lot of persons have lost jobs. I'm in the hospitality human resource of Broward County Group. And when you look at this book, you will find that what I've done in the environment is to know that a lot of persons have lost their jobs. Many, it doesn't matter who, managers, heads of organization, many persons have lost jobs. So this book is there to help others in how they can prepare themselves for a career. So sometimes you're miserable. I think this year is the best time to decide, let me look and see if I can prepare myself for something else. So in that case, I say ditch the job. Or in other cases, you can switch it for a different career. So that's the reason why I wrote this book. So it can give individuals information. And again, it is based on empirical research of success and leadership. So it carries you into understanding yourself, doing things about yourself, finding about yourself, doing your mission and your vision and what leadership skills you have. All of that is included in this book. And it is also, it has some lines and stuff that as you see other person's information, you can know how you yourself can do it. It has things like relocation. It has some interviewing tips for you and all of that, how individuals can develop themselves. So that's the reason I just published this book last week, and it is now available on my website, which is shellycameron.com, or on Amazon or any medium that you want to find it. So that is a little bit about me and my history of my writing history, my writing story. And I wanted to share with you someone who is not here. Her name is Charmaine Allwood Hanson, and her book is a book on, it is called I Speak, You Read. She has been a poet from she was a little young girl, and she has captured lots of her poetry. This is not all, but this book has some of her poetry in it, and it is titled I Speak, You Read. Now, Charmaine has said that I Speak, You Read is a collection of poems by first-time poet and author Charmaine Allwood Hanson. These poems are inspiring, inspirational, and spiritual. The poems are simplistic and easy to read, and Charmaine writes in a melodious tone that captivates listeners and readers. And there is a picture of Charmaine, who was not able to be with us today because, of course, she is ill. So I decided to assist her by sharing her books. So her books are available on Amazon.com. Thank you very much. And I will now hand over to Arnetha, or it is Charmaine Gooden Monteith. So that's Dr. Charmaine Gooden Monteith, who can share information about her book at this point.
Okay, Shelly, I'm not too far away from home, but I'll take my chance. Good evening, sisters and brothers.
Good
Welcome
evening.
from Jamaica. I am Charmaine E. Gooden Monteith. I wear many hats. I'm an author, the author of 3 books. I'm also an educator and a communications consultant, and I also work in HR now, having graduated from Nova Southeastern University with a doctorate in education, a Master of Science in Human Resource Management, and I also graduated from the University of the West Indies with a master's degree in communication.
I think we're not hearing Dr. Gooden Monteith.
University of the West Indies, Mona, where I have a first degree, and I worked as a teacher before. Not hearing. The first book that I wrote was in the first book. I'm sorry that I'm unable to show my book because I'm still driving. But the first book that I wrote is called Moments, Motivational and Inspirational Thoughts. And I believed as a Christian that I was just under his command, because I really loved the poems. They moments of love, just so many different moments, moments with family and moments with friends. That book is a potpourri of moments of my friends, myself, moments of others, just by observation. And so that book is really near and dear to my heart because it was my first book. I actually have a CD that was made from that book, a little book of motivational thoughts and poems. My other book, because I'm a PR consultant as well, I wrote a book called Winning PR and Communication Strategies Toolkit for Educators. It can really be used by anyone, but I targeted educators because I'm in the business of education. It tells persons how they can write news releases, draft speeches, uh, greetings, It also talks about how schools can have positive slogans to influence their children and the parents and all the stakeholders in education. It has various little nuggets that one would need in a toolkit. My final book is based on my research, my dissertation, and the title of that book is The Inclusion of Students with Children with Special Needs in the Regular Classroom, Teachers' Knowledge, Attitudes and Practice in Jamaica and Globally. That's the title of the book. The title of my dissertation was slightly different, but it's the same based on my research. And I have been getting excellent feedback because if you live in the Caribbean, you know that there are not too many books on inclusion. And so far, I have only known of a monograph and I have known of my book and maybe a chapter in another book that somebody else has written. I don't know if I've used up my 3 minutes, but I was on Instagram. I've closed down my social media accounts. I've just recently started back on Instagram because my accounts have been hacked and persons have been using my name and photograph to solicit funds.
We're sorry to
So I
hear that,
decided to,
Dr.
yes.
Monteith. What I would ask is, where is your book available? Is it on Amazon?
Oh, the motive I'm crying out for help, Dr. Shelley. I have the e-copy of my book, but I just need help to get it uploaded to the different platforms. That's the inclusion book. But the first book, Moments, Motivational and Inspirational Thoughts, that is available in the Kindle store on Amazon. It's very cheap. It's only for $2.99.
So we're having a little problem
I
hearing you, but we will just go ahead. Dr. Gooden's Monteith's book is available on Amazon, and it's called Morning, so you can get that from her. Thank you very much, Dr. Monteith. And I will move now straight to Patricia Reid-Waugh, who will now share about her book. And Patricia Reid-Waugh, you are muted.
Yes. Are you hearing me now?
We are hearing you.
Yes.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Patricia Reid-Waugh. I am a retired chartered accountant, and I am the author of the book Retirement: A New Adventure. This is a nonfiction book, and it can be classified as self-help, self-improvement, lifestyle, anything of that nature. And the book really is full of ideas of how to live an active and fun and enriching life in retirement. The thesis of the book is that, retirement involves much more than financial planning. When you Google retirement, you see a whole lot of stuff coming up about financial planning. But really, retirement involves a lot more than that, because you have to decide what you're going to do with yourself, what you're going to do for yourself. And the book is really showing that there are a lot of things to do. There are a lot of skills that we can learn. There are a lot of new technologies for us to adopt and embrace. A lot of people, new people to meet, and a lot of new places to explore. So, for instance, I give traveling valuable tips on traveling on a budget, and I share, some no cost and low cost entertainment options that are available, in different parts of the world that some people don't think about. And I talk about unleashing the maestro in you, where I tell of my own experience starting to learn to play the violin at 65 years old in a class with a bunch of teenagers. And of course, how thrilling that experience turned out to be. I talk about the joy of using the internet to meet and greet and tweet and to find your tribe and connect with new friends and reconnect with old friends, schoolmates, and family. I talk about the potential to turn hobbies into income generating activities, which can, of course, boost our retirement earnings. And I talk about the importance of telling our stories and the importance, you know, of really leaving a legacy behind us, because everybody has a story to tell and there are people waiting to hear our stories. So I suggest several ways in which our stories can be told. The book is available on Amazon and also from Barnes and Noble and from readwarbooks.com. Now, my passion is to break down people's fear of retirement. So, you know, if there's anyone out there who is feeling a fear of retirement and any apprehension, hit me up on social media and let's talk. I'm on Facebook. It's Patricia Reid-Waugh. On LinkedIn, P. Reid-Waugh. On Instagram, Patricia Reid-Waugh. So that's about my book. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was awesome and amazing. A lot of us are looking forward to retirement, but then at the same time, we're scared of it. So your book is pretty timely and you tell us exactly what to do. So we cannot be scared of retirement. So I will now, thank you very much, Patricia Reid-Waugh, and we will now proceed with Rosemarie Cole, who will share with us about her book and the genre in which she writes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rosemarie Cole. Yes, so God called me to write, and fortunately, I've been writing in a few genres. I wrote 2 prayer books, nonfiction, A Call to War and A Call to Repentance. I also wrote a marriage booklet, which is male and female. It's in regard to telling your spouse how you love them by action. And I have a children's book, The Playground Bully. So that's children in genre. And also God has blessed me to write a poetry book. So the poetry book is what I want to showcase this evening. And it's called, the title of it, Please Orate Enlightened Me. And this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it. Red candle representing red, representing the blood of Jesus, and the light from the candle representing the Jesus, the light of the world. So I put 18 poems and the stories behind the poems in this book. And it is available at lulupublishing.com. It's in paperback and it's in ebook form. So the paperback is for $5.99 and the ebook is for $3.99. And before, you know, we're going right now in a time where we're all wearing masks. Everybody can say, I have been wearing my mask. So I put a poem in the book in regard to that, to, you know, tap into right now, which is relevant. And I dedicate that to all of the healthcare workers. I am one of them. I have to wear the mask to save lives. But at the same time, every one of us are wearing masks, right? And so that poem is in the book. And I just want you to know that it's dedicated to you, every one of you who are wearing masks. Okay? And I wish all of my author friends and colleagues all the best in their endeavors in writing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosemarie Cole. It's a pleasure. So first came marriage, then came the children, and then came the love with the poetry book. That's the order I got from your books that you wrote. Thank you very much. And now we will go to George Simpson. Or George Moss, you can go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm George Moss. My website where you can reach my story is called gmossdesign.com. That's GMOSSDESIGN.com. I am a science fiction author, and I'm also an illustrator. I have a novel. It's called The Chronicles of Ann and Lo. It's based in Miami, Florida, and it's about these two teen siblings. There's a brother and sister, Ann and Lo. Their older sister which is really like their best friend. She was kidnapped by an ancient regime called the Shadow Regiment. So they're basically trying to rescue her and save the city of Miami. There's a lot of teaching in the story. There's a lot of teaching of the past. The mentors of the story, they teach the children how to fight against the evil and also teach them good morals as well. You can find my novel on my website, gmossdesign.com. I also have it in comic book form. This is the comic book for it. And I'm also currently working on volume 2 of the novel. I also have Fashion to Comics. I'm a fashion designer and illustrator. So this book also talks about how to create your designs from a sketch all the way to a physical product. So again, my website is gmossdesign.com, and you're welcome to give me a call, or all the information is there.
Perfect. Thank you very much, George Moss.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think your specialty is in comic books, and we're looking at your graphic design, and we're seeing the graphic design. Even entire area that you are in is all about the graphics and the comic books. Thank you very much for sharing with us, and we ask that you go ahead and check his website and get his books. So Rhodessia Rose Strong will now share her. Mute, you have to unmute.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rhodessia Rose Strong. I wear many hats. I am a minister of the gospel. I'm a writer and an author of 5 books, and another one coming in 2021. My first book, it's a cookbook, Molly and Rhodessia's cookbook. There are a lot of good tasty recipes in there from back in the days. For anyone, it's a good souvenir for those who are graduating, those who are getting married. It's a good gift for anyone who want to learn how to cook, who doesn't know how to cook. You can learn how to cook with this, okay? That's one of my books. And the next one it's a very touching book. This one here is My Sister, My Friend. This book was written because I have a sister whose children were all taken away. And it really took a toll on her life because she had several nervous breakdowns from that. She was put into a mental institution for a while, but thank God that, years later, she's doing very well. She's still alive now. She's 82 years old, I believe, 82 or 83 now. It's a good book. So if you know anyone whose children have been taken away, it's a very touching book for me, because when I talk about it and think about it, it brings tears to my eyes, because when I think about her seeing all 7 or 6 of her children put into a car and then taken somewhere where she don't know where they was taken, and also she missed so many years of being with her children. So it's a very good book, and it's encouraged people that don't give up. If your children have been taken away, do not give up. There is a way that God will bless you to be reconnected with your children. That's one of my books. My Sister, My Friend. And the next book I have here, this is number 3, is Hold Your Fire. I want to be married, but that's something I need to know. This is for anyone who, I guess I would say 17 years or older, whether they want to be married or not, but it gives them some information for the future. Know how to look, know what to look for. When you meet that he or she, you would know what to look for. So in this book, Hold Your Fire, there's some good information in there. It's also a workbook. And this book, I found to be very effective for a lot of unmarried people, or those in relationships who are not married. It's a very good book and healthy for them. So in there, you found some good information. I also would love to give this out to people for, as a Christmas gift, a birthday gift, whatever gift you want to use it for, you can do that, because it's going to give them some knowledge, because knowledge is powerful. And when we get into relationships, if we go in with some knowledge, we'll be able to deal with our relationship even better. So this book will help them to do that. My next book is We Said We Do. Now what? This is for the married couples, or it could be for unmarried people. So when you get married, you will know what to do according to God's will. You will know how to handle situations, because in every marriage, there are going to be some situations that we don't know how to deal with. And I do strongly believe and do know from 32 years of marriage, and I'm in the second marriage now, which is 3 years plus a month. So I do know the more knowledge you take into a marriage, the better your marriage will be. But it takes two to work the marriage. A husband and wife must work that marriage together. So in this book, it gives you some good information. It's a workbook also. It tells you what to do to have a healthy marriage. It says here to God's will for a healthy and enduring marriage. And we know in our society now, in our world, our state, we need healthy marriages. So in this book, this is what it's all about, to help married couples have an enduring marriage and know some of the things you're going to encounter and how to deal with those things. So once we get into marriage, if we know how to deal with a lot of situations and we deal with it as husband and wife, our marriage will be much better.
That is a wonderful note. I think you have shared your 4 books, right, so far? You want to hold up.
One book coming soon. I don't know if you see it. The Little Girl from Andersonville, which is my autobiography.
Yeah.
That's coming this month, I believe. This month, 1st of December.
Okay.
And all these books that you can find on Amazon.com, except you can always contact me for the cookbook. But
you want to show us your book, because we're not seeing the picture?
Oh, you don't see it? What about that?
Right. And that is the cookbook, right?
That's the cookbook. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay.
And this is my sister, my friend.
Right. Okay. So that's good.
On this one.
Right.
And this one is Hold Your Fire. This is for the unmarried couples. That's on Amazon.com. Yeah. And this one here is for the married people, Amazon.com.
Perfecto. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
We would love to hear now from Willie Leland.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Willie Leland, and I decided to write this book because I grew up in a place where sometimes you had to pump some sunlight to me. And I grew up on a plantation, and I was the third son when my mother had four boys, and she was a single mother. So I decided to write this book because I left the country and tried to come to town, and I found something that I call my passion. This is my book that I found my passion. And it is something that found my passion because I'm a heavy equipment operator. I'm a crane operator especially. And I got into this at an early part of my age, back in the early 60s. And during that time, there was a lot of hatred going on. And there's a lot of things that I had to endure. I had to swallow my pride and keep going in order to be successful in that area. And when I found my passion, I decided to fight any way that I knew how, but not physically. It was a mental thing. And let me tell you something, people. When you have to mentally fight, it's a heavier fight than you really think it is. And I had to go through this in order to accomplish my passion. And I did it. And I did it for 47 years. And I was so glad I did it, because when anybody buy this book and read this book, they will really know how and what I had to endure in order to be successful during that time. And now I'm so glad I did, because there is so much that you can learn. And so many other, especially young men. The young men, let me tell you something, because it is something that you have to endure during your lifetime, because you're always going to find some obstacles in your way. Sometimes you have to go over, around them, or through them, whatever it takes. But it is a journey. Like life is a journey. And I had a long journey. And I endured every one of it. And I enjoyed it. And now I'm living at the fruit of all what I've done. So this book here, it found my passion. I found my passion in many ways, even in marriage.
And where is it available?
Amazon.com. It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.com.
Okay, thank you so much. So we can get it there.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. And we will proceed with Susie Ingram. Miss Susie Ingram.
Can you hear me now?
We can?
Yeah, okay. Can you see me, Miss Cameron?
No, we can.
You can't? What? Okay. But you can hear me, right?
We can.
How do I get on the screen? Should I click on the video, the video icon?
Yes. Yes, there you are.
Oh, you see me now? Okay, and this is my book. Let's see. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Susie Ingram. I'm a member of the South Florida Writers Group of Miami. I write poetry as well as short story writing. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I just published my first short story book for all ages, and particularly school age. I wrote this book prior to bullying being prevalent in school at an all-time high. It tells the story of a little girl learning in school when she faced bullying. You don't want to miss how she escaped the bullying. Get your copy, titled God Lives Here Too, at Amazon.com, written by Susie Ingram. Get your copy today, and Facebook Susie Ingram to get details for a matching t-shirt for your book. And I have the t-shirt on. I can show you. Can you see the matching t-shirt? And this is the book. Can you see the book?
You can hold it a little higher and we'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah, higher. Perfect.
Uh-huh. And did you see the t-shirt?
Yes.
The t-shirt here.
Perfect. Oh, wonderful.
Yes. Okay. So, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you thank you for sharing with us. Love that book cover and that t-shirt.
Thank you. I'm amazed that I got through on the Zoom screen. This is my first.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to go to Raymond Dunn, invite Raymond Dunn to share with us about his book.
Okay, thank you. Let me. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you.
We can hear you now.
Okay, am I visible?
No, you're not.
I'm not. Okay, let's try and fix that. What do I need to do? Share screen? Okay,
Yes.
I'm trying. Oh, okay,
We're
can you
seeing
see
you
me?
now. We saw you just, yes.
Okay, can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to join you. My name is Raymond Dunn. I write children's books, and I'm very excited about that. I have written two. I would like to share with you a little background, and then I will tell you a little something about my books. My background is in education. I was an elementary school teacher, community college dean at a couple of community colleges for about 25 years or so, and a professor at Nova Southeastern University in the graduate program, and that's enough about me. The book that I would like to share, I hope you can see it. Can you see it? Okay. This book is called The Little Scrub Christmas Tree. And this book has a number of lessons for young children to learn. I hope that I presented them in interesting ways that they would pick up on and that parents would appreciate. It has in it that students should Children should obey their parents. Don't bully. Respect everybody. And where you come from does not determine who you are. And that's what happened to Scrubby, the little scrub Christmas tree. Scrubby just happens to be a little seed that somehow got dropped into this lovely, beautiful Christmas tree farm where all these Christmas trees were growing and they were challenging each other to get selected for all sorts of places to be displayed all over the world, the Rockefeller Center, the White House, all over the world though. And there he was from a little scrub forest and nobody appreciated him. As a matter of fact, they didn't even want him there. So the story goes on to tell how he was bullied, but in the end, of course, Scrubby found out that he was special. And you'll have to read the book to see what made Scrubby so special. You'll also find that this is a nice science lesson for students because it talks about the Christmas season and the trees and so forth. I would like to share also, this book is available on Amazon, most bookstores. You can find it in Barnes and Nobles all over the place. It's also an ebook. The second book that I just recently published is called The Robin That Could Not Sing. And this one is about a little robin who tried his best to be like all the other robins, but he just could not sing. Everybody knows that a robin can sing. Well, he couldn't sing. So he listened to his parents and they told him to just be you. And if you read the story, you will find out that in the end, all of the birds found out that this little robin was special. And all he did was he just decided to be himself. And what is the message for all of those kids out there who think that their friends can do more than they can? They could be on the football team, the basketball team, they can do all these things. They don't have to do that. Just be you, and you'll see how special you are. This book was published by Page Publishing, but you can find it on Amazon or any of the other areas. For me, on Facebook, I'm at Dr. Raymond Dunn, Sr. That's D-U-N-N-S-R, Dr. Raymond Dunn, Sr. On Instagram, I am Dunn Sr. 859. This book, The Robin That Could Not Sing, is also being produced and will be available within the next 3 weeks as an audiobook. I hope that told enough about me.
It did.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor? Could
Yes.
you raise your book a little higher so we can see it a little bit more clear?
Can you see these?
One at a time.
Oh, one at a time. Okay.
Right. Perfect. That works. And the other one. Perfect.
And if you don't mind, may I add one more thing?
Sure.
I'm also the host of Through Black Eyes Unfiltered. So that's our podcast. You can catch myself and Dr. Marvin Dunn as we give our podcast.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Pleasure listening to
My pleasure.
Share your book. And I would like to go to Ettosi Brooks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Ettosi Brooks. I'm an interdisciplinary artist, so I mixed everything up. My book is called Story, Caribbean Tales with a Little Jazz. And what it is my remembrance of growing up as a child and the rhythms that I heard. So it's the rhythms of the diaspora and playing with those sounds and rhythms. This is a book, and it won the 2017 Moonbeam Award for Book with Music, because the book comes along with audio and music. And I actually received a grant in 2018 and produced the stories from the book as a musical production for children. So we had a lot of fun with that. And this book is available on Amazon.com. You can link with me at Facebook /Ettosi.Brooks. And also my website is ettosibrooks.org. I've also just produced a musical, a reggae musical, for which I wrote the book and music. So I encourage you to link up with me. It was such a pleasure being here. I want to buy everybody's book among these esteemed authors. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's our pleasure. And I can't wait to dance to that little book, that little reggae book. So, Miss Ella, you are up. If you want to go ahead, you have to unmute yourself, right?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Ella Williams, and of course, I'm a newbie to this camp, and I'm really grateful to for this opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Shelley, for inviting us to join with one another this evening. I'm very delighted to be here. My name is Ella Williams, and as I say, I am a new author, just getting ready to publish my very first book. This is a lifetime dream for me, and I've come to the end of the road where I had an opportunity to write this book, and I'm excited to publish it with a lot of nerves anyway, but I am excited. My genre is in the careers and employment sector. I am a resume writer, and from that, I have grasped the concept of writing job-winning resumes. I've worked in this sector for almost 2 decades, and I decided that as I get to the end of my road, I wanted to leave a legacy for the generations behind me. And especially for my children, I wanted them to know that you're never too old to be a writer. I'm excited, very excited. The name of my book is A Guide to Writing Job-Winning Resumes. And this is what it looks like. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'm excited, and it will be published this very coming, by December, it should be in stores, and it can be found on Amazon. And what this resume guide is, it's a guide to writing job-winning resume. Is primarily to inspire and to educate future generations of all ages and backgrounds. And the core purpose of this book is to motivate and guide the readers on the importance and know-how of securing a career path. In this guide, you will learn about relationships between careers and resumes, how to format and write job-winning resumes, the pitfalls to avoid when writing masterpiece resumes and cover letters, and everything else that goes with letters, thank you letters, job letters, and everything. There are samples in this book, and I'm so excited to publish this book for the generations to come.
Congratulations, Miss Ella.
Thank you.
Really proud to hear that you joined the journey. You've gone on the journey and you've joined this business of authorship. So what I would like to ask you is, if you don't mind, to share with us your age.
Oh, my dear. Well, I am 77 years old and counting.
Yay! So that's the reason I wanted to share her age, because age is just a number. And you have Miss Patricia Reid-Waugh, and she is talking about, her book speaks to retirement, and she is reinventing many others who has gone on. Miss Reid-Waugh, what's your age?
Ms. Reid-Waugh.
Oh, I turned 72 years old in July.
Wow.
So that's the reason why I asked it, because age is just a number. And I actually had a conversation yesterday, an interview conversation on another YouTube video with, it started a conversation with reggae music matriarch, and her name is Miss Pat. They call her Miss Pat. She's Patricia Chin from VP Records. And she is actually 84 years old, and she just came out with her book. So I'm just saying that this is the age is just a number. So whatever your dream is, we can go ahead and get into that dream and get it out there. So Miss Patricia, because you're already on, would you like to share your book cover? Because I think you forgot to share it.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a cover, Retirement, a New Adventure.
Perfecto. Perfect. And I thank you so much. I know that it was Dr. Goodman Teeth. She was on, but she was a little bit incapacitated in driving. So now I'm going to invite her to share her book again, the cover of her book.
Thank you, Dr. Shelley. And I am holding up my books. Oh, what do I do now? I need to focus on the books. How do I go about showing the books instead of showing myself?
Put the books in front of your face.
Okay. This is the Winning PR and Communication Strategies, the Toolkit for Educators. And this is the Moments book.
So that's the Moments book that you have there. You're
in the Kindle store.
Yes.
On Amazon. And this is my, again, that I have in this book.
Right.
This is
That one is based.
inclusion of
That one is based on the
dissertation that I did at Nova Southeastern.
Perfect. So that's based on research.
Yes, I have I have it, as I said, to be uploaded. Shelley, I just need some help. So I hope somebody from this group might be able to help me after this.
Yes, and we will talk about that once we're off air, because we're live on air now.
Yes, and
right. So you're showing the booklet.
Showcase my books.
Right. Thank you so much. And they're available on Amazon.
Just one of them is available. The other two I have, and I'll be doing another website soon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I had one, but I actually closed it down.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I think we will end with now. We're going to introduce you, Dr. Sue, who will now share about her experience, background, and her books.
Thank you, Dr. Cameron, for this wonderful opportunity. Susan Davis, aka Dr. Sue, and I'm the author of 3 books. The first 2 were books of poetry. This is my first one, Ode to Miss Lou, From the Soul of Dr. Sue. And that was written for Jamaica's 50th year independence, 50 poems, and it was my 50th birthday then. So it's 50-50-50. So that was how that book came about. It has 50 pieces. And then this is the second book called I Am Jamaica. And this piece is one that I tend to encourage second generation Jamaicans to get this book, because it speaks a lot to our culture and different things that we experienced as children, and the whole heritage that we want to carry on. Tells them about stuff in a satirical manner. So that's a book for people who are wanting to get to know Jamaica, and for the next generation who's coming and want to speak to it. Now, the book I want to highlight tonight, though, is the self-help, faith-based nonfiction narrative called Living a Hip Life. And it's the story of a mother as told by a daughter. And hip means humble, intentional, and prepared. So what is this book about? It's a book that helps us and our loved ones to celebrate the physical, the spiritual, and the relational newness of living a hip life. You know,
just being humble, just being yourself, doing all that. So this is what this book is about. It's my newest book. I'm so proud of it. It's been getting real reviews from those who have seen it. It's available on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble, and on my website, which is Dr. Sue and You. That's DRSUEAND and the letter U.com, drsueandyou.com, or Amazon. Living a Hip Life. Perfect book for the Christmas. It covers all demographics, all genres, children, adults, you know, and the story itself is just, it captures the life journey of wisdom, of faith, and just of will, the will of a woman, and shows you how it can be done. But the concept behind it is about being humble, intentional, and prepared. And we can apply that in any areas of our life at any time and with anything. So I recommend this book highly, as through the others that have been highlighted here tonight, but a lot to be learned, and we just celebrate each other. Yeah. So thank you. My handles are my Facebook. I'm on Dr. Sue and You. That's DRSUEYOU. Instagram, it's Dr. Sue D. That's DRSUED. And I'm also, again, my website, DRSUEAND, the letter U.com. And I'm also on Twitter at Dr. Sue and You. So thank you very much again for this opportunity, Dr. Shelly. Thank you all, you wonderful authors. And all the best for the holidays, everyone.
Okay, thanks. So it has been a pleasure to listen to all our authors. And again, you can, if you listen to them, this video is going to be available on YouTube as well. So you can go back and listen to the handles, the Twitter handles or the social media handles of each writer that is here. And also not only to look at that, but to buy the books that have been written. I know that Ettosi spoke about emotions, and the emotions, also Raymond Dunbar, he spoke about emotions. And I think with all of that, that's what writing is about. It is about emotions. I can share that Dr. Sue, she said Dr. Sue, I don't think she's going to sue anybody on Instagram, but Dr. Sue used to write poetry, a lot of poetry. So she stepped out of her comfort zone because sometimes life throws us some curveballs. Her mother, she lost her mother passed, and then the book gets into how her mother actually, I read a bit of it. So I know that Dr. Sue's mother passed, and then she was prepared. When she went to get everything done, only to find out that her mother, the funeral home was saying that, hey, we're expecting you. Her mother had done everything. So it's a delightful book to read. It really tugs at your emotion. And I would highly recommend it, as I recommend every single book from all the authors that are mentioned here, especially those older ones who have decided that they're going to write about retirement, and at any age, from Miss Ella Williams right through to Miss Patricia, any age at all, back to the young lady, Rosemarie Cole, who from I met her is always writing and talking about relationships. Relationships, whether it is the bully in the school ground, whether it is the lovely relation with the relationship with her husband and others, and giving advice, as well as Susie Ingram. So thank you very much for authors for joining with us now. And we want to just say thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you too.